Hello, Chef Lorious here. So today we are going to make a basic item. We're going to make mac and cheese. Now you may be thinking, why mac and cheese? I'll tell you, I personally love mac and cheese. My kids love mac and cheese, and everyone that's ever had my mac and cheese loves it. And the cool part about mac and cheese is once you get the basic recipe down, you can change it up however you want. You can put all of your heart and soul into it, and you can make it love mac and cheese because it'll be from your heart to whoever you're making it. So we're gonna get started with some basic mac and cheese, and let's go to our ingredients. Okay, let's get going first with our ingredients. So for basic mac and cheese, we've got elbow macaroni here. I like to use the small ones. We've got some heavy whipping cream, some of the water from our pasta when we boiled it, some sour cream, flour, stick of melted butter, and the star of the show, the cheese. So this is really gonna be a 2-for-1. The first thing I do when I make my mac and cheese is I make a cheese sauce. The reason I'm calling this a 2-for-1 is when you know how to make this basic cheese sauce, you can actually use this with anything. I use the same concept when I make cheese sauce for cream spinach, for example. So we're gonna make a cheese sauce and then mix the macaroni in. So you're kind of getting a 2-for-1. First thing I do is I always start with a little bit of a roux. So I take a stick of melted butter, pour it in my pan, and then I take about 2 tablespoons of flour. And this is how thick you're gonna get it, depending on how thick and creamy you want it. So that's 1 tablespoon, and maybe we'll just do 1.5, okay? So when you're gonna take these, you're gonna take your whisk while the temperature's up, and just start to whisk this together. So now come over here and take a look at how we whisk this together. See, all you're doing is combining the butter, or the fat, basically, and the flour, and you're gonna whisk it. Now it'll take a few minutes for this to come to a slight boil, and you'll start to smell it. You don't want it to be burnt, but you just wanna smell it, and it'll start to thicken once we pour in the liquid. So let's just give this a minute to start to bubble and thicken up, and we'll come take a look in a second. Okay, so our roux is cooking up very nicely. We're going to add in 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. You can also use half and half, or you can use carnation milk, the pet milk. You can use that, any liquid you want in a sense of milk. You can even use regular milk, but I like heavy whipping cream, and I like it because it makes it really thick. Why don't you come take a look at how this is cooking up? See there? Now, what we're gonna do to that is add in these 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And just like that, pour that in very gently. And we're just gonna let this come to a nice little boil. What you'll find as this is in here cooking, it will start to thicken up. And the cheese that we add to it also is going to thicken it up as well. And this again are the basics to a cheese sauce. Like I said, you master this, you can make cheese sauce for anything. Oh yeah, see, it's starting to thicken very nicely. Okay, let's give this a second. Okay, so come look at this cream that's mixed in nicely with our butter and flour. See how that's thickened up a little bit? That's how you want that to look. This is a nice base. It's gonna help your cheese melt too. So what we're gonna do now is our cheese. Now this is 4 cups of cheese I've got here. I'm using cheddar and jack cheeses today. You can use any cheese you want. It's really nice sometimes. I like to use gruyere, sometimes it's nice, and gouda is really nice. But today we're just gonna keep it basic. We're gonna use just some jack cheese and some cheddar cheese. Now when I add the cheese to this, it's when I turn the heat off usually, because I don't want it to keep cooking too much. If it continues to cook, my concern is that my cheese will start to... See how that cheese is melting nicely in there? Now while it's in that state, I'm gonna take some sour cream. And this is about a 1/4 cup of sour cream, and I'm just gonna mix that in there as well. Sour cream does really nice things to mac and cheese. They are great friends. And I've come to discover that mac and cheese, or cheese and sour cream in this state, wonderful. If you like cheese, you want to eat it just like this probably, but don't. Okay, so now you see how that cheese sauce is? Look at that. See how it's coming away from the sides of the pot just a little bit when you do it? That's a nice thing. So this, what we're gonna do is add our noodles. This is a 1-pound box of small elbow macaroni, the 1-pound box. And I just like to boil it nice and get it soft. You want it soft. See how soft that is when I boil it? Because that's how I want to eat it, okay? Some people cook it that al dente where it's just barely, you can barely, it seems to me, put the fork through it. It's not wrong to do it that way. I just like it to be a little softer. And you're just gonna add all this macaroni in here. Just like this. Ooh, mac and cheese! Yes! See, Then when you get that in there, you're gonna stir it up like this. And you're gonna really reach down and stir until you get it all mixed in. See? Now you see how that cheese is starting to go through, but there it's a little stiff in some spots. This is where your pasta water comes in. So I'm gonna take my pasta water here and just add, there's a cup in here, I'm gonna add about 1/3 of that cup right there, or maybe 1/4. And just keep stirring. And that water will really do a good job of making this, the consistency is just so much nicer when you get the pasta water in there. And that water has the flavor of your pasta as well. See how that's looking now? I'm gonna put a little more in there. I like it creamy. If you like stiff macaroni, just add less of this or add none of it. But I like mine to be creamy, and my kids like it creamy, and my husband likes it creamy. Ooh, that looks good. Now we're gonna add some salt. You want salt in here. The cheese has salt on it, but the macaroni doesn't. You can put salt in your water when you boil it, but I still like to put about a teaspoon of salt in there. Now you can also add pepper here if you want to do different things like Cajun seasoning or peppers or anything. This is the stage and the time you want to do that in. I like pepper in my macaroni and cheese, but my daughter doesn't, so I just make and put it on the side. So I'm not making 2 pans. Even though it's easy. Now this is a basic mac and cheese. It's mixed up and it's ready to go. Now there's a couple things you can do. You can from here serve it just like this. Some people like it just like this. I like to put it in a pan and bake it, and that's what I'm gonna do. But one test that's always important with mac and cheese is to taste it. So just get a fork, a clean one, and just, oh, that's good. This might not even make it to the oven, but I'm gonna try. Okay, almost done. Okay, so I went ahead and added those stray noodles that were in the bottom of the bowl, and I added the rest of the pasta water. And I did that because as I stirred it, I wanted a really nice creamy mac and cheese. Come take a look, and we're gonna put it in our pan. See this? See how creamy that got? That's from adding that whole cup of pasta water in there and those stray noodles. So I have a 9 by 13 dish here that I've sprayed, and I'm just gonna pour my mac and cheese in it. Now remember, like I said, you can serve it straight from the bowl, from the pot like this, because it is done. There's no eggs or anything in there, so it is done. But I like to bake it. It gets a nice slight golden brown to the top, and it bubbles around the edges, and it's just really good. But if you're in a hurry with your kids, do this and be done with it. Make your cheese sauce, put your noodles in, and call it a day. All right, we're going to put this in the oven. We're gonna bake it at 375 for 30 minutes or until it's just bubbling around the edges. This is gonna be good. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. So we've baked our macaroni and cheese on 375 for 30 minutes. Come take a look at how it came out. It's beautiful. See, by baking it, it has just a little golden brown to it. Looks delicious, little cheese pockets. My favorite part of this whole thing is the tasting. Oh, it's still smoking. I hope I don't burn my mouth. You know, I have done that before. It is not fun. But I have a feeling I'm not gonna burn my mouth. This looks so good. Okay. I absolutely love tasting. This is really good mac and cheese. Creamy, cheesy, delicious. Okay, that's it. So now you know how to make a basic cheese sauce. You know how to make mac and cheese. If you have any questions, and I know how to drop a fork. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, cheflorious@gmail.com. Post any comments or questions you have down in the comments section. See me on Facebook or anywhere else you can find me. Have a great day.